Right. Hello, everybody. What's up? We're going back into the retro rewind, baby. Believe it or not, I actually don't have any topics written down for like politics related stuff today. That's not to say shit hasn't been happening. Shit has been kind of happening. I just don't think there's that much for me to cover. I mean, I was going to at some point I was going to and this might be when I get back from SmashCon, review the debate that Destiny and Dennis Prager had, which I think is some good liberal left unity to be had in the whole line of conservatives are fucking weirdos and creeps, you know? And then, that interview that I think Aiden Ross was going to do with Donald Trump. That's still coming up, I think. I am still going to do both of those. I still want to review both of those things because, I'm content pilled. I think people would enjoy that. But uh, right now, it's well, a lot has been happening in my own life in terms of like studying for the exam, and I found out that like there's more shit that I have to do to get a certification, which sucks a lot. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna be worrying about that once I get back as well. And I still have to do video editing as well. Another thing to keep in mind is that I have not finished editing the segments about conservatives being really fucking weird, and then Israel tanking its own economy because it wants to commit genocide really hard. Probably gonna finish those up on Monday or something like that. You'll see one of them uploaded on Monday, I think. Oh boy, what are we getting up to here? Oh hey, I recognize, I don't know why, but I recognize Tsukiyomi. Let's spectate them. Is that Tsukiyomi? I don't know. I guess the race was close enough to being finished, so all well and good. Nice. Random. Playing Luigi today, showing off the Casino Luigi custom texture slash model that I have. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but I think for New Super Mario Bros. DS and also for Super Mario 64 DS, on the main menu screen there were these mini games that you could pick, and you could play them. And one of my favorite ones was actually playing poker with the Mario poker cards. It taught me how to play poker. That was a lot of fun. And Luigi was the card dealer, and he wore this tuxedo like casino worker and stuff. You can kind of see there. So I have that as a custom skin for Luigi. Although, if I'm not mistaken, he actually doesn't drift as tight as some of his other mock bike compatriots, which is interesting. He's pretty fast, though. Trying to get everybody in the room with the tables. Oh, that fucked up some people. And I am now in second, somehow. Damn. Somehow in first. Great, thank you, game. Very cool. Alright. Now, did Boot dodge, or did he use the shock? That is the question. Okay, cool. Very nice, very nice. I think, honestly, if I had to go back and analyze it, I think that POW is solely responsible for me getting first place. I just kind of used it quickly, but I like, something was just telling me, use it right the fuck now. And it got everybody in that hallway with the tables sliding around, and that just killed everybody. Gave me a massive lead. Which is pretty cool, I think. Let's go random again. The reason I'm going random here is because I've played every track in Retro Rewind now. I did this thing a little while ago, and by a little while I mean like a year or more ago, where in CTGP I went around and picked every single track because I wanted to have played all 216 tracks online, or like 256, however many there are, and I did that. And when subsequent updates came out, I played those tracks online as well. And so I've played every single track in CTGP online in an online race, and now I've done the same for Retro Rewind. So since I've done that, I don't have a preference to what track gets picked, because I'm just here to play some good old Mario Kart. And, you know, get bumped to hell and back. Hello! Izili J. Hone. I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you very much for the follow. And welcome to chat. It's always nice to see new faces here. God damn it, I got squished. I'm gonna chain this. This is the hacker item combo. Star into Mega. Use the shock. Just call me Ezzy? Okay. Welcome to chat, Ezzy. Dang, no dodge. Sorry, Tsukiyomi, but I have to do it. I want to get rid of these red shells. Oh, cool. That was perfect! And I now have a mushroom in first. There still has not been a shock. So I'm going to use this here. How's your Mario Kart going? Pretty good. Pretty good so far. I got first place last race, and it looks like I'm going to get first place this race as well. Wow, there was no shock that race. Genuinely surprising. That ground shroom, by the way, I think that ground shroom is what got me first there, in addition to just really skillful driving. Ooh, pet them. Pet the penguin. Random. Very good, very good. So as the title of the stream says, I'm gonna take a break from streaming over the next week because I'm gonna go to SmashCon Not this weekend, but next weekend. So I wanna have time to prepare for that, and I also want to have a week where I don't have to like cram everything in, because I've got. So it's your last stream until like a week or so from now. Yeah, I'm gonna take a brief hiatus to go attend SmashCon, and then the Monday or Tuesday after that tournament happens, I will be back. Yeah. Because I have, like, in addition to preparing for SmashCon, which is just for fun stuff, I also have to study for an exam for a certification or for, like, an IT course, and I have to start looking for jobs and such regarding, you know, IT. And then, like, start on another course that I'm required to take for an IT certification. And there's also, like, some videos on the back burner that I have to edit, and I plan myself to do some phone banking next week as well. So, it's already a lot, and I don't want to have to, like, in addition, worry about streaming when there's, like, an added load. And it's also going to be my birthday in, like, 3 days. So, there's a lot going on. Good plans, dude? Yeah, I feel good about my plans for the first time in a while. I'm just going to throw that backwards to try to widen my second place position. Okay. Scared. Oh, wow. That actually really got first place pretty good. Not quite. Would have been cool if I got him, but that was more for content than anything. I don't care that much about being in first. In fact, in a Wi-Fi room, I would almost rather be in second than first, because then I have a blue shell meat shield. Happy birthday in advance! Thank you. Oh no! I thought I could be super coy and clever with it, but I was wrong. I'm just gonna use this here. Okay. Woo! What's the other games you play usually? I've been mostly playing Mario Kart Wii on stream. I want that to be like my consistent stream game. So I've been doing that for several months, and in fact, I did that when I started streaming more seriously back in 2022. But I've played Minecraft Creative Mode on stream. I've done a survival world in Minecraft on stream. I've played Pokemon games and ROM hacks on stream as well. I've played Super Smash Bros. On stream with mixed results. When did you become affiliated? In 2022. I think if I remember right, it was like in the fall of 2022 that I became an affiliate. And stuff like that. But for a while, I didn't have quite an understanding of what it was that, like, drew people to my channel. So that's part of my streaming plans as of late, is I'm trying to take that a little bit more seriously and, you know, be content pilled. You earn something? No, I do not. I do not get any income from being a Twitch affiliate. All that means is that I'm eligible for people to have, to subscribe. You know, people can subscribe to my channel, and I can have custom emotes. That's all that means. Yeah, you don't get jack shit for being an affiliate. Most likely because it's pretty easy to become affiliate. Also, this is 200cc, I'm now realizing, and I am gonna get fucked. Oh wow, you really want to not trick there. Alright, I'm just gonna use this. Your custom emotes are not professional enough. They're as professional as I need them to be. I made them myself. My custom emotes are exactly what I want them to be. You have to do it more consistently and professional. I don't need you telling me how to run my Twitch channel, is what I need. It might be, at some point, it'd be a good idea for me to add more emotes, maybe, but I don't think I'm even eligible for that yet. They gatekeep how many emotes you can get behind a certain number of, like, subscribers and stuff, which is kind of silly. Oh, that was a good one there. Why so rude? Because I get plenty of solicitors in my chat. There's a lot of times where I'll get, like, a sales solicitor's like, hey, I can do this for you. You just gotta, you know, contact me for blah, 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 blah services. And I'm very jaded to salespeople that show up in my chat, so that's my initial reaction, is to do that. Have a good day. All right, bye-bye. If you're gonna tell me how to run my Twitch channel, then I don't need you around to begin with. I have enough confidence that I can do this shit myself. I've been learning for 2 years. I'm finally starting to get a grasp of it. You don't need to tell me, oh, you need more professional emotes. I'll figure that shit out myself. Thank you. Also, that's the first thing you said to me. You fucking came into my chat. Hi, how's it going? You know, you play Mario Kart? Also, your channel needs more professional emotes. Fuck you. You know? I have no obligation to be nice to you when you're, like, the first thing you do after exchanging pleasantries is fucking tell me where a bear shits in the woods. Please don't be 200cc. I really don't like 200cc. God dang it, it's 200. Oh boy. Alright. Had to go this way. Gotta not hit anything. Ow. Okay. Surprisingly, for how much I am kind of uncomfortable racing 200cc, I'm better at it than most of the people in the room right now, which is interesting. Okay. Oh no! That doesn't work. Dang. Fitting end, I suppose. Please let it not be 200cc. I would love for it to not be 200cc anymore. I would like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess there's something worth mentioning that I've been seeing on my like social media feed. Which is that so the Olympics are going on, and usually I don't care. In fact, I really don't care about the Olympics except for certain select sports because I care about the sport. I don't care much for the Olympics, but the conservatives have been making a lot of political discourse out of it because they are their minds are so infested with transphobic brain rot that they've resorted to transvestigating every single woman and man, I might add, who is part of the who's part of the Olympics. Seriously, they've been like trans, like pointing at every single Olympic athlete and being like, you're trans, you're actually a man disguised as a woman, and they're being really fucking weird about it. And one person in particular is the object of the conservative ire right now, and that is God damn it, I forget her name, but she is the boxer from Algeria, from the country of Algeria in northern Africa, who won won the won a boxing match and then like was abandoned by the major boxing org or something like that. That Olympic committee has been behaving kind of sus about this stuff as well, but like conservatives have just gone completely insane with it and been like, yeah, you're not actually a woman, you're a man, you're like whatever the fuck, which is putting like it puts people's lives in danger, and they know this, right? Like Algeria, not known for the whole queer rights advocacy thing, not known for supporting queer people, not known for the pro trans attitudes, of course, and so it makes it all the more evident that like whenever conservatives engage in the sort of transvestigation style of rhetoric, they are in no way interested in protecting women, whatever the fuck that means. What they're interested in really is policing women, policing well, all women. This affects cis women as well as trans women, and this is evidence of that. I believe this boxer is a cis woman who just has like, I don't know, she presents kind of butch. She has kind of like a clocky looking face, I guess. Like that's it. But conservatives are like, to them a woman is something very particular, to such an extent that like the discourse has now re-emerged that you can't be a woman if you're not white. That used to be in the like 1880s. That was a frequent imperial like conservative line like in the British Empire that the African women actually aren't women because they're black, they're savages and whatever. And so too that logic is being applied by conservatives today to women who aren't white, I guess. They've started to disproportionately target well, started to, they have been, but they're now even more blatantly disproportionately targeting women who are minorities as well. For the whole like, oh, you have a slightly clocky face, therefore you're actually a man, or some shit like that. Can we not do the whole 200cc thing? That would be good. I think I would appreciate that. And predictably, the while it is very unfortunate that this boxer is like kind of having her career dragged through the mud by all this, it is interesting to see like conservatives almost uniformly and unilaterally get blown the fuck up on social media over this. Perfect. Oh no. Hit the fireball. Whoa, what's going on here? Why is it Sam in fourth all of a sudden? Oops. What's going on here? Am I lagging? I might be lagging. Game says I got first, but that's almost certainly not true. Or maybe it is, and I'm like... I mean, that wouldn't make much sense, because the game was behaving as though I wasn't that close to first for the whole duration. But I guess there was one point at which it really seemed like there were some people that came up on me out of nowhere, and it like didn't seem like they had any way they could have passed me. I guess I did get first. Okay. I'm gonna actually leave this room and try to find a 150cc room. Rewind miss. Brake drifting? Enabled. Wait, no, disabled. Disabled on 150. Rewind. Host. Okay, well, I'm not hosting the room, so... try this again. Luigi. Oh yeah, conservatives have also been investigating Kyle Rittenhouse, which is extremely funny. Kyle Rittenhouse of 2020 Kenosha, Wisconsin shooting infamy shot, I think, 3 people? Or shot, like, 1 or 2. I don't remember the details. It was a while ago. And now conservatives are posting, like, he's a she, and like, posting images of Kyle Rittenhouse where he has, like, the opposite of a clocky looking face. I guess it would be just the guy version of a clocky face, right? Where like he's a guy, but his face maybe looks a little bit like, you know, yeah, I could see a woman having a face like that or whatever. And so they're being like, yeah, see his face? His face looks kind of like a woman's face. He's actually a woman. Or some shit like that. All because he like posted something about writing in Ron Paul for president. You know? Dude, that, like, the go-to line from conservatives, extremely funny, by the way. The go-to line from conservatives is, "You're trans." Like, great, cool, devastating. Devastating attack. Wow. Ah, a nice break from the 200cc. Some good old Shy Guys Bazaar on 150. Golden Mushroom. Oh, I know where I want to use this. And there's the blue shell right on time. Interesting. Well, that shock came at, I don't know, maybe a little bit of an opportune time for both me and for first place, interestingly enough. Okay. Don't have another item, so I'm holding on to this banana. Okay, now I have another item. That was a good attempt with the POW. It didn't get me, but that was a really good attempt. All right. I used my what was it, the golden mushroom? I used that really well. I used the mega mushroom really well, and I think that's what got me first place there. I have like a pretty good flowchart in my head down of how to protect or widen a lead in first place, where you basically cycle through items, making sure you always have something behind you, and try to get rid of fake item boxes as fast as you can. And then that way, there's more of an obstacle course for people behind you. So even if they don't hit things, they slow down. They have to do things that are a little bit slower than taking the turn as best as you can, like as tight as you can. And then obviously, if they do hit it, that's good for you. And you know, just hope a blue shell doesn't come, which, you know, it's only so much you can do, right? That's part of why I like to play second place, because you can still do the same flowchart, but you literally have built-in protection from a blue shell. No, I fucked that part up. Okay. I usually, whenever I'm online, I only take the single shortcut for DK Summit. I'm not, like, confident enough to take the double. Pretty good ending section, if I don't say so myself. Oh, did I wheelie? I might have wheelie bumped that guy. Very weird line, but that did gain me a little bit of time on first. Okay. It's me and Dragonite. I'm content to let Dragonite have first. You can have it, dude. I don't want first. Here, throwing that red shell backwards. If I pull, let's see, mushroom. I don't know how much good that does me, but yeah. Pretty good low tricks. Here, I'll get rid of this too. No, damn it. Shouldn't have got rid of that. Okay, we're good, we're good. Third place. See, that was an error in judgment. I should have held that red shell for a little bit longer. And then even still, I think I could have maybe salvaged it by using my mushroom a little bit better to get the final ramp jump thing. I would have been able to outrun the red shell just for a little bit longer to get across the finish line. But it's all good. I think, you know what I did is I played it behind first place correctly, where I didn't really want to take over first that bad. He had revolving green shells, so there wasn't much I could do, but... It's kind of weird how abrupt the news cycle kind of stopped. Interestingly enough. You got the whole, like, conservatives transvestigating everybody at the Olympics, but that's kind of it. Everything else is like, okay, this is stuff we've heard before. There's the usual kind of Olympics corruption, which, you know what, maybe I'll talk about the Olympics as an institution a little bit. Just to get my thoughts out there for I don't know. Because I feel like I want to do some sort of political analysis right now. The Olympics are a fucking massively corrupt set of institutions. They're, you know, they're not good, folks. You know, obviously there's a lot of wheeling and dealing that goes on, and, like, well, more than just wheeling and dealing, there's some outright corruption that happens as well. And, like, one of the things that happened this time was what's her name? Fuck. The Algerian boxer. I never remember her name, but I remember her face. Was like, was it disqualified or like banned or something from the like a international boxing org, which has since been like unrecognized or whatever. Like they got de-recognized by the Olympic Commission. I don't know how bad you have to fucking be to get unrecognized and like delegitimized by the goddamn Olympics, but you know, they're that bad, let's just say. So as usual, the Olympics is kind of demonstrating that it's not really, it's not a place of pure competition. This is just like, it's kind of like geopolitical chest puffing and stuff like that. It's one of the remnants of old imperialism where you know, in the 1890s and 1900s to 1910s, you had like countries just regularly doing showmanship for, you know, like military parades and things like that. You'll see dictatorships do this sometimes today as well, but a lot of countries back in the late 19th to early 20th centuries did these spectacular military parades to show the world how great and superior their nation is, because our military is the best. The Olympics is just the sports version of that. Our athletes are the best. Look how superior our nation is. Our athletes are superior to athletes from every other country. Obviously, that's like been written out of the text entirely and lives in pretty deep in the subtext, but that was the original purpose of the Olympics. It wasn't just like some good-natured competition stuff. I guarantee you a lot of the, you know, colonial countries were not competing, or at the very least not usually winning any Olympic competitions, right? And some of the more blatantly imperialistic elements of the Olympics still show themselves, like the fact that the Olympics has a storied history and controversies around displacing people in low-income neighborhoods, in destroying and hollowing out the communities where they have where they've like set up the Olympic Games and stuff like that. That's like why I say. Hello, Vittorio Benedetti. Welcome back to chat. That's why I say that I'm really not interested in the Olympics, in like watching the Olympics, because it's just uncritically, like, to watch the Olympics as a tradition or whatever is just basically to uncritically consume imperialistic propaganda of sorts, very, very thickly veiled, as opposed to thinly veiled, very thickly veiled imperialistic propaganda by 21st century standards. But, you know, like I said, it's propaganda for a different model of imperialism, one that doesn't really exist anymore. Think about how insane somebody would sound if they unironically argued that the blood and genetics of our nation are inherently superior. Because that's the kind of logic that the Olympics was set up on, and what it was meant to capitalize off of. You know, so that all the Brits could feel like they were, you know, superior to the French, the swarthy French and Germans and whatever, and everybody else could feel the same way if their countries won gold. And regardless of what happened, the sort of justification for Europeans at the top of this imperial structure is reified. Brazil's in 13th place above us in North Korea. Well, they have more medals than us, and that's cool, I suppose. It's like that's part of what I mean when I say that, like, a lot of the original, like, text of Olympic propaganda and whatever has been written into subtext, because now things are such that states have more resources than they used to. Even poorer countries are able to fund pretty damn good athletes for these sports. You know, the world is a more globalized place now. So, you know, you get countries like Brazil performing super well, and you know, North Korea performing at all. and then you know, so that's how it's kind of become. It's a different kind of imperialism than it used to be, but it's still there. You know, like I said, a lot of the cities and towns that hosted the Olympics in prior years, in prior decades, have been hollowed out or experiencing, at the very least, severe economic problems. And you know, some of them haven't recovered since then. Some of them are veritable ghost towns now, because the Olympics basically says, we're going to put a sports stadium here. We're going to put, you know, spectator arenas, and they shove everything else out of the way. They set up for a temporary, like, period of time, and they don't clean up afterwards. And you know, that has a lot of nasty effects with regards to infrastructure and local politics, especially because, you know, you better believe that the Olympic Commission isn't exactly listening to, you know, disenfranchised communities. I mean, come on now, it's the Olympics. But yeah, those are my thoughts. And that's not like to talk shit about any of the sports that are hosted at the Olympics. I'm a big fan of surfing. I love surfing. You can probably tell because I have a, you know, surfboard in the background. You know, it's just like, I don't care about the organization hosting it. It's just an opportunity for me to watch surfing, I guess. So I will watch the Olympic surfing competition once it's all said and done. But, you know, I think I've said all I wanted to say about the, you know, the Olympics and the Olympic Commission and all the sort of nationalism and corruption that's sort of inherent to that kind of those kinds of institutions. You know, it's a whole thing. It's, you know what it is, to sum it up very, very succinctly, it's you know, it's a opiate of the masses type of thing. You know, sports, nothing, you know, nothing necessarily problematic about enjoying sports. Everybody enjoys sports. You know, we do shit for fun. But the Olympics making a big show of competition between nations and whatever is it's not an accident that, you know, they sort of push all discussion of anything real to the side as the Olympics are going on, or at least they try to. Very difficult, but like very hard. Look, whatever. I'm kind of rambling now. You know, I think I've said what I wanted to say. I know there's a good amount of prize money also that's associated with like winning an event in the Olympics. Um, and that's cool. I don't want any of this to come off as an indictment of the athletes necessarily. Like athletes are in fact workers. They have to work for a living. They're them performing in sports, them playing their chosen sport, that is their labor, you know? So I appreciate them and what they do and whatnot. Even though a lot of athletes, pro athletes are very highly paid, they experience the sort of sometimes they get really raw end of the deal. They're subject to a lot of objectification by managers and whatnot. Being shoved around as though they're playing cards and whatnot, being sort of neglected in discussions of pay and benefits. A lot of the times, there are a lot of pro athletes in America that have that had to form unions and stuff like that. Even though I believe everybody should have a union, in place of work and stuff. You know, it's just for whatever reason there are some people that don't seem to understand that the Olympics are a business that is as unethical, if not more so, than any other business. Because that, like, you can't have the Olympics without a community being hollowed out. Not with this business model, anyways. Theoretically, you could have international sports competitions where that's not the case because there's pre-existing infrastructure that you can rely on without having to displace a large amount of material and people. But, that's not what the Olympics does. Okay, I'm done for real this time. Oh, jeez. I almost made that. What a bump. I need an item. Yeah. Oh, there's boost panels here. I guess that's to make this straight away less painful. Interesting. I think I know what I want to do with this. It's just a matter of is the shot going to happen before then. Hopefully not. Yeah, I got it. All right, nice. Take me to first place, please. Nice. Bullet dropped me after the POW. And I now have a red shell. I am content to play second place with this. Oops. Okay, there's the shock. Interesting. Cool. Relatively easygoing second place for most of it, at least. Lap 2 I had to use the bullet to catch up there. But then from there it was just kind of driving. A couple minor mistakes, bumped into the wall a few times, but for whatever reason, Luigi on the Mach Bike feels a little bit less easy to control than other Mach Bike characters, and also I don't know, that track is not something I know super well, so I don't know the lines that you're supposed to take on that track, I guess. $150cc. You'd love to see it. Oh, you know what I can offer some commentary on as well. Kamala Harris is going to pick her vice president on, I believe, Monday. And most people are debating whether it's going to be Josh Shapiro, Tim Walz, or Andy Beshear. I honestly think that Kamala Harris is going to pick Tim Walz. And there's a reason that I say that. It's not just wishful thinking. It is a little bit. I think Tim Walz is actually the ideal pick. But there's a couple things that make me believe that she wouldn't pick Josh Shapiro. And that's because of, like, some of the baggage that he has. You know, the whole cutting corporate taxes and whatever. And like, the sort of Zionist leanings and whatnot, when Kamala Harris has been much more willing to be critical of Netanyahu. That's for one. I think also, whoever Kamala Harris picks, she is going to win the presidential election, right? Like, the Republicans don't have anything on her. They're not going to have much on her VP pick either. Whether it's Shapiro, Beshear, or Tim Walz, right? Because Tim Walz, what is Tim Walz known for? He's known for his education policy, funding public schools, and free school lunch programs and stuff. Which means, we saw what happened when the Republicans tried to attack him on that in his home state. The results were disastrous for them. You know, they legitimately had to argue against the concept of there are hungry kids in school and we should feed them. They are like anti-school lunch. And that's the sort of talking points that they'd have to engage in to attack Tim Walz. And not to mention, the man is a veteran, and the Republicans will jizz themselves over somebody having been in the military, you know? That's not to say that he's going to get any support from, like, a Republican-leaning voter base, just that it would be pretty difficult for the conservative media machine to really attack him in a certain way. Does that make sense? Okay, at least I got shocked here before the boxes. There are boxes coming up, right? But with Josh Shapiro, right? I mean, Josh Shapiro, Republicans also wouldn't really be able to attack him on much because all the things that are wrong with him are things that Republicans like, you know? Like the tax cuts and the fucking opposition to the college protesters and the Zionism and whatever. Republicans love that shit. I think it's a matter of long-term strategy. If Josh Shapiro is the pick, obviously Kamala wins the presidential race, but that comes at the cost of a progressive support base, right? Or potentially it really does, because a lot of people on the left are not going to like Josh Shapiro, myself included. I'm going to be very, much more skeptical of the Harris administration if she's willing to incorporate the likes of Josh Shapiro, like, into the really inner circles where they're deciding on matters of policy. Palestinians are incapable of peaceably coexisting Shapiro, right? Like, that's the kind of baggage we're dealing with. Which, again, isn't baggage for the right, but it could damage the progressive movement. Tim Walz doesn't have any such baggage, and while again, I think that an electoral victory is guaranteed either way. I guess I understand if Kamala just wants to, be Mr. or Mrs. Campaign strategist and consultant kind of person, be like, oh, we need to lock in Pennsylvania. But ultimately, she's going to win with Walz too, if she picks him. And that wouldn't come at the cost of a progressive support base, because Tim Walz is a progressive. Progressives love him, myself included. Obviously, if we're digging into the Luxemburgist critique here, then yeah, I mean, I guess I could say he's a capitalist, but the man, has almost everything in the book going for him. He even did a fucking, epic gamer move to fund schools for 400 years, or something like that, right? Like the line item veto, which ordinarily I don't like, but it is funny when somebody uses it for a funny / good purpose. Anyway, this is a little bit less coherent than I'm used to being on stuff like this. I think because of the lack of baggage associated with him and the sort of non-concern over an electoral victory, and also the sort of white guy street cred that he offers, Tim Walz is most likely going to be the vice presidential pick, right? And I think also he would be the best pick for appealing to a broad audience and such, right? Like, I'm trying to not let my biases get in the way of this analysis too hard, right? I'm gonna use this here so I can drift normally. That's gonna run up, yep. Ooh, Omega. I think I'm gonna chain this at the next set. Yeah. I think that was smart. In fact, you know what? I think Josh Shapiro poses the potential to be like an electoral liability. Even though he would like, oh, he would be, you know, he would basically capture the Pennsylvania vote because there's, you know, a lot of people voted for him in Pennsylvania and stuff. I think he would actually detriment the Democratic Party's efforts in Michigan. Michigan, a very important state, both for like national elections like the presidency, but also for regional and local policymaking, right? Michigan is one of the Rust Belt states. It's one of the last places where American manufacturing really exists. And, you know, a lot of people live there. And it's like, it's part of what myself and many other people have recognized to probably be the cradle of America's future, right? Like if there's a future for American politics and infrastructure and whatever, it lies in the Midwest, you know? And so I think Tim Walz would be really good for that as well, because he would not offend a lot of the, he would not be like an offensively bad pick for a lot of Arab voters in the Midwest. This is not to be racist or anything. This is just to say, like, Tim Walz is not a flaming racist Zionist, and Josh Shapiro is. And who is he racist against? Arabs. And there's a lot of Arabs that live in the Midwest. A lot of Arab Americans that live in the Midwest. Michigan in particular. So that's that. I think Tim Walz is the smart pick. Josh Shapiro is the more conventional centrist Democrat pick, because centrist Democrats love to play as Republicans. But Kamala Harris, it seems, is taking a slightly different line of attack. A lot of centrist Dems are actually unwilling to recognize the degree of difference between the Republican and Democratic parties, because they're stuck in the 90s, back when the parties actually weren't all that different. Kamala Harris, though, is her campaign, if that is to be any indication, is very willing to be like, yeah, Republicans are massive weirdos and hate you, right? And we don't. We're very different from them. And I think that potentially bodes well for her VP pick. But obviously, this is all speculation. It's what I believe to be informed speculation, but speculation nonetheless. So we'll see what happens on Monday. At least I think it was Monday. I don't know if that's actually true. Oh, and also I should mention, part of the reason that it's so important to have a very well coalesced and well built progressive base of support is that if Kamala Harris wins and is representative of the new wave of liberals that are going to be kind of at the forefront of Democratic Party politics, then that actually presents a real opportunity for the left and for socialists, because they're not going to be as hostile to a progressive support base, right? It like Kamala Harris winning on more progressive terms allows progressives a lot of breathing room to try to get some institutional inroads into the Harris administration, into other areas of federal politics and stuff like that. Whereas it would actually be a much tougher nut to crack if, say, Josh Shapiro was the vice president pick. You know? Because then you still have that cohort of the Democratic Party that is really, really dedicated to keeping progressives out. Almost more so than they are to beating Republicans. In fact, definitely more so than to beating Republicans. You know, which would I think seal the fate. Maybe not in the immediate term, but certainly in the intermediate to long term, it would kind of seal the fate of the Democratic Party and well, maybe I shouldn't go as far as to say it'll seal the fate of the Democrats and of America, but it's certainly not good. You know, it would definitely sabotage the Democratic Party's policy efforts if they were more dedicated to keeping progressives out than to beating Republicans. And I think we've seen that over the past 30 years in politics. The hope is just, hopefully now, Kamala Harris and some of the younger Democratic Party insiders and campaigning officials and strategists or whatever, now that the old guard is finally retiring and dying off, see that and recognize, like, okay, we need to let the progressives have their slice of the pie, like the dirt road Democrats and all that. Dirt road Democrats, by the way, basically the Leninist vanguard party for the Midwest, and then their compatriots on, I believe, the East Coast. At least I've mostly seen them on the East Coast, is the Working Families Party. These are both, they're not big enough to be their own political parties, so they exist within the Democratic coalition building umbrella. And they focus on, what else? The working class. You know? There's a lot of that, believe it or not, in the US. This is a little bit of a tangent. There's a lot of organizations in the US, really good political organizations, that aren't nominally socialist, but they focus very heavily on the politics of the working class, right? And I think that's good. Even if they're not socialists in name, they are critical of liberalism, they are critical of liberal institutions, and they are avowedly in favor of the class interests of the working class and against the class interests of the owning class. And to me, I think that's as socialist as about anything can get without, you know, calling itself socialist, which is pretty good. I fell in the water somehow. Don't know how that happened. All right. I'll start using this here. I think this is a decent place to use it. Run out in time for the next box? Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Whoa! Got some pretty big air off of that. Okay, I somehow find myself in third place. Ooh, they got me after the boxes. I have to take this really wide, but that's okay. Okay. Pretty major error on that guy's part. Second place, not bad. Pretty, not bad. Pretty good. There's a little bit of bumpiness on that race. It was awkward, but it worked out. I think I'm going to go until about 1 hour and a half. Like 1.5 hours. This has been some good Mario Kart so far. I've noticed the Retro Rewind rooms are a lot less cutthroat than the CTGP rooms. And I'm having way more fun with that. You know? Not as much of the sweaty competitive mindset here. which makes it a lot easier to race and commentate at the same time, which is really nice because that's my whole content model. Obviously, I can still do it in CTGP, and I do really like a lot of the custom tracks in CTGP still. I think they have like competitive track syndrome. I've talked about that before. But you know, I want to find the time to stream that too. I just don't know how I would fit it in. You know what? Maybe not this Monday, but next Monday I can stream CTGP. Because I know TWD puts out videos on Mondays of Flounderfest with him and Nick. So that'd be fun. Because I know like people, that kind of spikes the interest in CTGP every now and again when he has those videos going up. Okay. Oop. The shock. Kind of an early shock. That was only like 48 seconds or something. It's kind of crazy. What's this guy doing? What's the strat that he's taking? Does that, and then he does this. Interesting. I don't know how much faster that is, if at all. Okay. Got a mushroom. Whoa, they powed me exactly in the spot where I would fall off. That's what I get for experimenting, I guess. But I think it was worth it either way, because this track has a lot of different options for you to, like, how to drive and what routes to take. So, I don't know. I guess I kind of appreciate that. Oops. Give me that mushroom. Thank you. Probably not going to beat this guy, but third is fine. Looks like I'm getting a little bit of lag. The game flashed me in second. I really like that rendition of Bowser's Castle too. I think it fixes the biggest problem with the Bowser Castle, GBA Bowser Castle custom tracks, which are the ramps. You know, the ramps were like the really slow ramps in most of the versions of this track that I've played, but not this one. They were like boost panel trick ramps. And, you know, it's fine that they were just a single stunt, too, and not like a flip trick, because that's kind of how the... You know, they didn't give you that much air in the original renditions of the track, so... That's kind of fitting. Probably the best version of Bowser's Castle 2, GBA Bowser Castle 2, that I've played. And I've played a few. There were some old ones that I've played as well. The GBA track renditions, I must say, have usually been pretty impressive. Even the older ones, like, they were mostly pretty damn good. But it's nice to see the, like, the Mario Kart Wii game engine being taken into consideration. Where, like, the ramps, for example, on Bowser Castle 4, or even Bowser Castle 3, they really slow down the pace of the game. It presents this awkward kind of break of the pace, where like it kind of dictates you go into a different mode of driving. It's kind of, I have a hard time explaining it right now, but either way, in short, I'm just glad that they have ramps that make you go fast instead of ramps that make you go slow. What a dodge. Somehow in first. Yep, see, there's my model of item usage. So that I wait until I have a couple items. Put one of them back, hold out the other one, and just keep going. This one I could probably get away with putting there. Okay, everybody got hit by that, it looks like. So I am mostly in the clear. Obviously, we'll have to see if somebody gets a red shell. But either way, I'm doing fine. Riding along. Okay. Put this one here. Create like a wall of bananas. Who's getting canceled this month? Make your predictions. I don't know, dude. Oh, wow, double trick. I don't really keep up with cancellations, you know, of random people. You know what is actually very interesting? A lot of right-wing pundits have slowly been falling off. You know, there's a phenomenon of cancellation hitting all at once. That's kind of why they call it cancellation. It's very abrupt. But right-wing pundits have been losing a lot of steam because they've consolidated, and a lot of them are terminally uncharismatic as well. Like, when's the last time you heard anything about, like, Jordan Peterson or Matt Walsh, except for, like, them getting ratioed on Twitter? Like, that's what they're relegated to now. All I can say, someone's gonna get fucked that nobody expects. Maybe. I mean, you know, if I don't expect it, obviously I don't expect it. I'm not going to see it coming. But what I think is happening, interestingly enough, is that all the cancel culture is concentrated. Like, all of the energy of, grr, we gotta cancel this person, show them what for on social media, is, like, concentrated on the part of the right wing. Whether it be from lefties dunking on the right wing, pretty typical, or right-wingers ineffectively trying to cancel insert athlete here or insert person here for being trans groomer, gay trans groomer, whatever, right? Because the conservatives sound too fucking insane for cancel the whole, like, cancel culture shit to even work anymore. Insofar as cancel culture was like a, you know, thing to begin with, which, I mean, it was, but it's definitely, like, people very, very broadly invoked the term. Although, if you're referring to, like, very directly drama stuff, then I double don't know, because I don't care about drama and I don't watch any of that shit. I think it's gonna, like, rot my brain even faster, so I'd rather not. No way! What in the world? That was wacky. Okay. I kind of like the way those item boxes move. Makes it not that difficult to get a box, which is nice. Oh, this is actually a pretty good spot to be in, I think. Yeah, I'm going to get big in time to get the boxes. Triple reds. Okay, got him. This? Okay. This track's design is interesting. Yeah, I kind of like it. It's... What is this, Donut Plains Remix or something? It's kind of hard to make Donut Plains interesting, and I think this accomplishes that. The mushroom pads... Mushroom pads I don't feel the same way about as, like, the yellow slow ramps, because they don't make you go that much slower, and it's pretty easy to get a good landing. Like, there's not that much of, like, trickery that you're kind of supposed to do on the yellow slow ramps. So, you know, you still got some nice shortcuts. You got plenty of item boxes. It's a very easygoing track, with a few tricks. You know, like literal trick boosts. Oh yeah, you know what? Going back to the whole cancellation thing, this is the most I will ever comment on this. I did stop watching Xander Hall a little while ago. Originally, I stopped watching him for his cringe-ass takes on Joe Biden remaining in the race versus dropping out. And that kind of made me realize, shit, this guy's he's really not that smart. Or like, doesn't know what he's talking about here, specifically. But then some stuff came out about him, like, there were some DMs leaked about him being, I don't know, like, really shitty to his editor, kind of very flippantly acting a certain way in regards to his friends, whatever. Look, I don't want to get into it. The point is that there were some things that made me uncomfortable with still being a Xander Hall viewer. The stream's never going to get canceled because we don't care. Yeah, and I've, you know, never going to do anything cancelable, you see, except for exist, I guess. But that's really it. Like, you know, a lot of the reasons that I've stopped watching Xander Hall related mostly to his character. It's not like a whole, oh, he was secretly a fascist thing. Like, no, he, you know, he got sucked into the drama cycle and like, made some really fucking bad decisions is what happened there. And as a result, I was like, yeah, okay, let me just not engage with that. That's the closest thing to drama that's happened. It kind of... It helped me be like, okay, you know, this stuff really is trivial. The whole, like, oh, this person's a shitty person. They did bad things and whatever. It's like, dog, what I cared about was their takes on politics. You know, like, yeah, I mean, whatever, maybe they're a shitty person. Like, I don't care. I want to live my life. They can do whatever they do in their lives. They can make whatever mistakes that they're gonna make. Makes no difference to me. Because that's some parasocial shit, you know? Getting involved in online drama is unironically parasocial shit. It, like, assumes that you have any degree of connection, responsibility, or like, emotional involvement in any of that basically personal beef that happens online. And I'm not interested in that. The most I'll ever get interested is, like, fighting game trash talk. And that's only enjoyable because I almost know for 100% fact that both of the people that will, like, engage in that are friends and like, are joking around when they do that. You know? So it could be just me, or it could actually be the left unity stuff that I described. But it seems like drama on online has taken kind of a nosedive, especially in terms of engagement. There are some accounts that I follow who have good politics, but also like engage in drama stuff, and I'll occasionally see, oh, this person's bad, and I'll just scroll past it. But I've noticed a lot of those tweets, a lot of those posts are getting less and less and less engagement. Like, that's just not what people are interested in anymore. And it's certainly not what I'm interested in. You know, it just, there was a time where I engaged more with that, like more so than I do now. And it like put a genuine weight on my chest. And I realized recently, like, how childish it is. It's like, god damn. It's fucking high school shit. Like, I'm a grown up now. Can't be doing this. YouTube dramas stopped being enjoyable since 2017 diss tracks and 2019 boxing. Yeah, funnily enough, it's funny you mentioned the diss tracks and boxing. The times when that's the most funny is when it's a joke. You know, like it was like, okay, fucking, you know, you're so up on your high horse that you're like unironically making a diss track saying I'm a better person than you. But then there were some people, when I was in high school, there were some people that started making diss tracks and like mixtapes as a joke. And that was funny. Um, and then the same thing with boxing, where it was like, oh my god, I remember seeing like the Logan Paul versus KSI stuff. KSI? And I was like, who the fuck cares? But then I actually did see, because I'm a Melee player and I'm a little bit involved in the Melee community. I saw that like there was a Falco player and a Fox player that were gonna box and then like play Melee, and I was like, oh shit, because I knew they were both friends in real life, and it was just like, haha, what if we like punched each other and then tried to sit down and play a high tempo like think on your feet kind of video game, and that was entertaining because like there was no sort of vitriol. I think that's what it was. Like when there's real vitriol and like genuine disdain and malice behind drama, I really don't like it. And that's kind of what makes it drama to me, you know? Yeah, it went from stupid to being solely interested on like ending somebody's career, which is not, not what I care for. Stupid drama doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. I want to see some of the like drama satire stuff where somebody's like, I'm making a call out post about this person. They suck. And then like make it very obvious that it's a joke. And then like the next video they do is they're doing a collab and they're like obviously best friends or whatever. That shit is funny. Anyways, even with that, I've let this take up too much of my time. Like I was saying earlier, it's kind of crazy how non-existent drama is in online politics anymore. Because everybody realizes, like, the shit is so neatly divided between... There are people in the left and liberal sort of area who generally don't want to kill everybody, especially women and minorities. And then there are people on the right who do want to kill everybody, especially women and minorities, you know? I don't think that stupid drama will be a thing anymore, because if anyone tries, those people will get way too involved and ruin it all. Yeah, that's definitely part of it as well. It's like the algorithm kind of goes in cycles, and it's just really not favoring the drama shit right now, because people mostly have bigger things to worry about, right? It's like, who the fuck cares about drama when people can't pay rent, right? Yes! Got the box. No, fake item box. Funnily enough, it actually seems like drama has been subsumed by politics, as opposed to the other way around. It used to seem like the case that a lot of politics, especially online, was very tangential to like people beefing with each other and stuff like that. But now it really seems like all of the beef or whatever and the drama has sort of gone away, because the biggest concern and most dramatic concern, literally speaking, on people's minds has been politics. Which politics is something that I care about. The sort of rhetoric, the showmanship, the policy, the theory, the institutional critique and whatever. That's like very real stuff. Damn it. No. Getting fucked up at the end again. I want to do a couple more races to see if I can get a good one. I don't like having a race end on like a low note like that. I think there were some big fumbles I made on lap 3 that I shouldn't have made, in particular. You know, like me getting into that snow really just set it all off, I think. What? Everybody left. The fuck? Man. Well, I say everybody. It went from 8 to 6, so. Moo Farm. Please don't crash the game like last time. Okay. So far, so good. I'm in third. I actually didn't mean to squish that person. I know it seems like I was taking the same line as them, but I, like, actually tried to turn right so they wouldn't get squished, because I knew I was going to pass them anyway. Damn it. No. Damn. That track is very awkward and bumpy. If I had to say what my mistake was getting too zealous with taking over first. I should have done the thing where I played second, even though it was a very short track. Playing second is just generally a very smart strategy in Mario Kart Wii. Mushroom City, let's go. Now, Mushroom City is one of those tracks where I'm pretty confident if I just drive decently and don't get hit by anything, I'm almost guaranteed a top spot. Okay. I'm gonna go this way. Be mindful of the cars. Very mindful of the cars. And this is going to enable me to build up a lead pretty significantly. I don't even need to take that shortcut. In fact, that shortcut is a little bit more risky than I'm comfortable with right now. Okay. Go inside the truck. Yep. You know what's funny? There are some people that really know the car patterns for Moonview Highway. I think I'm actually more familiar with the car patterns on this track than Moonview Highway. Even though this is a custom track. Like, this isn't in the Mario Kart Wii base game. Oh, is he going backwards? Interesting. It's okay. I have more than a blue shell's worth of lead. Oh yeah, I could have gotten blued twice and still be in first. Look at that. Moonview Highway car patterns are easy to learn, especially on that tight turn where you can't see the cars before that bridge. Yeah. Yeah, this track does have a little bit more visibility. Okay. I think that's enough streaming for me today. I've been made quite tired by the kind of stuff I've been doing for the past couple weeks. Mario Kart, but everything goes wrong lap 3, still won. Yeah, that's what I meant when I said I had 2 blue shells worth of lead. You saw I still had, like, after getting blued twice, I had about a 2-second lead. And that's the power of just not getting hit. That's the power of, like, you get one of those hectic tracks. If you just don't get hit, that's like a guaranteed victory. That's how I get by on CTGP a lot. Some of the tracks, I don't know them super well, but I know them well enough to not get hit by any of the obstacles. And a lot of the people that try to do the advanced strats and get hit will perform worse than me because I'm doing not necessarily the most advanced strategies and doing all the shroomless shortcuts, but not getting hit by hazards. That will, not getting hit by hazards almost without fail will get you more time on everybody else than doing all the shroomless shortcuts. You know, if you can only pick one or the other. But anyways, like I said, I'm quite tired by the stuff I've been having to do for the past, at this point, past couple of months, like the, you know, studying for an IT course and whatnot. I'm going to take a break next week. I'm going to come back the week after. Still going to be doing a lot of IT related coursework and stuff because it turns out there's more things I need to do for that certification. But right now, I'm going to raid Cody Schwab. He's also going to Super Smash Con, also known as Supernova. There you go. Have fun. I'll be back, not next week, but the week after SmashCon.